Yes. Wasn't that awesome? Yes. That really felt good. And we all are one. Many of you know that I walk every day. I first thought the circuit was 0.5 miles, but I found out it's only 0.4. So I thought I was doing 3, but I'm actually doing 2.8 miles. But the circuit I take is a drive, and there's a little circle at the end, and I come back around. And actually, it's the entrance for 4 separate condominium groups. And so as I walk, I started waving at all the cars that were coming toward me. And I do this for several reasons. First, I want them to see me for safety. I don't want them, if you see movement, your eyes will go to it, so I always wave at them. Second, if anything would happen to me, I have made some connections with these people that have been driving around me, and so surely someone would stop and help because they see me walking all the time. Thirdly, it's just plain fun. Some people wave back at me. I would say about 90% of the people wave back at me. Some people even roll down their windows to talk to me. One of the t-shirts, my aunt, my only surviving aunt, lives in Chicago. And if you're from St. Louis and you're from Chicago, you understand Illinois is split between supporting the Cubs and supporting the Cardinals. So when the Cubs won the division, she sent me a t-shirt. So I've been wearing this t-shirt, and all the Cub fans seem to be stopping and waving at me or talking to me and telling me how, I'm from Chicago, and I didn't want to tell them I was from St. Louis. But anyway, we made a connection. And I talked to people walking their dogs. Some people also walked or turned around and joined me. And we just learned to get to know each other. No wonder I like walking these 2.8 miles every day. I make connections with so many people, and I really do it because it's fun. What's really kind of fun is now some people are waving at me before I wave at them. Don't know their names, but at least I can, we are making this connection. We can wait for joy to be triggered by some event. If we wait for something or someone to turn our joy button on, then we empower the event or that person to also turn it off. Joy is already ours. It is a gift from God instilled in us at our creation, just like love. It doesn't matter if someone doesn't wave back at me. It adds to my joy if they do, but the joy I have is already there. It's just making connections with people. And I've done it ever since I was a child. I just enjoy meeting new people and learning about them. It adds to my joy when they respond. Expressing joy can unite us. When we are around a person who is feeling their joy, doesn't it just lift your spirit? It's just like an energy that connects. We've seen in the movies or something or on TV where someone is in an elevator and one person starts laughing, and next thing you know, the whole elevator is laughing, right? It's infectious. On my recent trip to St. Louis, Jennifer Farron drove and took me to see my family. And the trip seemed so short because we talked the entire way there. We just had a blast. And I love hearing about the success of her daughter, Kelsey. Kelsey graduated from Syracuse University with a degree in acting. And one of the neat things is, one of her professors was one of my classmates in college. Oh, wow. So I knew that Rodney would be a really good teacher. So I've been just following her success. And so Kelsey has just taken a job on a cruise ship. Now parents, imagine if your child had an 8-month contract. Lodging is provided, food is provided, you get international travel, and you make $1,200 a week because all you have to do is put it in the bank. Wouldn't that you feel proud of a child? Oh, that's what Kelsey is doing. I mean, I'm so excited for her because it's a success. She gets to meet people internationally as well. I mean, for a 22-year-old kid, can you imagine the joy that she's having right now. And I get all excited hearing about it because I know Rodney, this classmate of mine, was part of it. And I just like hearing the joy of success. Well, there was a reason why I think I tuned into all of that. Because I was also visiting one of my other cousins while we were up there. And his daughter was coming to visit him. And he said, you know, she got a degree in acting. And I said, wait a minute. Let me share with you. He said, how is she going to live with a degree in acting? I said, let me share with you about what Kelsey is doing. And when Jennifer came back, she actually met Steve and really relieved him. And I just know their visit went so much better because he was just afraid she wasn't going to be able to support herself. And there are jobs out there. In fact, for the acting right now, between all the cable stuff and all the online stuff, there's just plenty of opportunity, more so than when my husband was in acting back in the 70s, where you just had either movies or television, or limited television. Now there are many, many opportunities for actors and actresses. But I saw Steve's spirits just lift when I shared with him what Kelsey is doing now. Joy is catching. Joy has the ability to lift our spirits and create optimism, and that's what I was trying to do for Steve. According to Sir John Templeton, joy provides assurance. It is a healing agent. Joy overcomes obstacles in life. It is reciprocal. The joy we express is often felt and shared by others and returns to us in abundance. So how can we increase our joy? Expressions of love and gracious service are wonderful. I think when I was writing this, I was thinking about the Sikh temple that we went and visited. And next Wednesday, as in our announcements, we prepare food for the homeless. And I love going there because, number one, I'm hearing all these different languages going on. Most of the people are from somewhere in India, and not all of them know each other. And we're preparing food to serve to 400 homeless people, and I'm learning about Indian cooking. And we just have a blast. They also serve us lunch. And so it really is a neat experience. And so my spirits lift when I go that fourth Wednesday of every month and help them prepare food for the homeless. Gracious service. It's just done out of the sheer joy of wanting to help somebody. I've met so many wonderful people. I learned about other ways of doing and other ways of being, and other ways of increasing my joy with expressions of kindness to others as well as counting our own blessings. Within each of us resides the possibility of unlimited joy. Joy may be difficult to define, but we know when we experience it, and we definitely know when we lose it. So the desire for joy can be one thing that most people have in common. So I want you to think a moment. I'm going to get out in front of here so let the camera know that. What could you do? Think about this. What would be the one thing you could do to enhance the joy that's already existing in you this week? Think about it. Who would like to share just one thing that brings you joy, that enhances the joy that's already there? Okay, I knew we have hands. Okay, Paul.
Reach out to a family that I haven't talked to in a while.
There you go. That's a wonderful idea. In fact, I need to call. I remember I shared in prayer time, my cousin John, who had the stroke, instead of making it to St. Louis, he got home on Friday. So he's doing well. And so I'm going to need to reach out to him, and that's going to also enhance my joy too. So that's a great idea. Judy, what was...
After a rainy week, I'll be back out in my garden this week.
Oh, you and the garden are just a joyful experience. I've seen you out there, and you've got a beautiful garden. And so, yeah, that's a joyful experience. Yeah, Denise.
Going camping, so getting out of nature.
Nature always helps. When I was in St. Louis, we went to a bush, kind of a nature reservation, and they had one little walk. It was only like 0.2 miles, but it's the one place in Missouri where you can find pine trees. And it was like walking in Georgia, because they don't have pine trees in Missouri. And so making that walk, it really did feel like I was back in Georgia. And that was just so neat. And again, that kind of enhanced my joy. It's feeling that nature and also an appreciation for the pine trees we have here in Georgia, because to walk among them just brings me peace too. So nature is just a great trip. Somebody else, yeah.
Spending a little more time with my little grandson.
Grandchildren bring joy to you all the time. You know, when I get down at Christmas time, I like to go and sit and watch Santa Claus in the mall and just watch the little kids. I mean, kids just lift your spirit because they're so unaffected by all of our concerns. And they're more important than all of our concerns too. So yeah, connecting with our grandchildren and our family members. But children especially, they are just pure love. And then talk about living in the moment. The littler they are, the more in the moment they are. And so it really can lift your spirits. Somebody else, what could enhance your joy this week? Yeah.
Sure, it comes as no surprise, but to be able to ride my bike outside.
I can believe it.
It's been just raining and raining, so unfortunately I've not been outside riding as much as I'd like. And not to embarrass Nancy, but to catch up, have lunch with a good friend.
There we go. That's good. Yeah, just to catch up on everything. And I had a girlfriend just drop by yesterday because, actually Deborah's been here, and another company acquired her company, and so she's only got 4 more days because they fired just about everybody. And so she dropped by yesterday, and I said, just share what's going on with you. And we had a ball. We had a blast. So good friendships. Just catching up and letting each other know what's going on means a lot. And Deborah's in a good place. She said, I am so ready to be out of here. So she's fine with it, so that's good. So lunch with friends.
I'm not easily embarrassed. It's okay. And that handsome little boy that was in here and he had gone on a field trip and gone down in Helen, went tubing. And so he's been asking me for the last couple of weeks if we could go back. He wants he and I to go. So I'm taking the day off, putting everything aside, and we're going Friday.
Oh,
okay.
fun.
Next week. Yeah.
What a great idea, just to be with your son.
I want to go.
And go tubing.
too.
Yes.
Yeah, what a blast. What a blast. That's going to be a joyful experience. I'll think about you on Friday.
Okay.
Anybody else have an idea of what brings you joy that you can, Joan?
Right now, my joy is making plans and connections with old classmates, kids I grew up with, I went to college with. I'll be seeing them in a couple of months, and that's bringing a lot of joy. You know, my niece, I'll spend some time with her.
In Iowa, come on, you gotta tell where.
So I got a full plate coming up in August, but it's fun deciding what I'm going to do and when I'm going to do it and how and so forth.
And this is in Iowa?
Oh, that's God's country.
In fact, Deborah's going back for a family reunion the 4th week in July in Iowa.
Oh.
And she's done genealogy work. And that's her bliss. And then she can go back and get with the family and keep adding to the genealogy of her family. And so that's, for her, brings her high joy, finding out. But she too, the family's
Yeah, I
from
have
Iowa.
virtually no family back there, but the one closer I do have lives just over the Minnesota line, so I count that as Iowa.
Close enough. Close enough. Yeah, one of the things that brought me joy was seeing Linda walk.
Yes.
That just lifted my spirits, and it's like, you're getting better, yay! And I was on a walker for 8 months, so I really can connect with you on this. Yeah. And I still have this vision of you just walking all the time and not having to worry about any of that.
Well, I can do that a lot at home.
Good.
Yeah, but I use this for traveling, so I have a place to sit down.
It works.
Yeah,
it works. But that just brought me joy, seeing someone heal.
Yeah.
And especially when I can relate to the experience they're going to. So
yeah, thank
you bring joy.
Oh, wow. Just taught me joy.
Anybody else have an idea? Something that brings you joy?
I know what Asha brings joy to Asha is watching her eat Haagen-Dazs ice cream.
I did have Haagen-Dazs yesterday, that was a wonderful experience.
What flavor?
Pecan, praline, cream.
Oh, yum.
Amazing.
My mouth's watering just hearing about that. That's an automatic joy machine. Yeah, ice cream does the job. Okay, good idea. That immediate joy was your favorite ice
I
cream.
was blissed out.
Anybody else? Something that we haven't mentioned yet that brings you joy? Yeah, Asha.
For me, it's recording more music. I've got my gadgets that I'm starting to understand and set up in a different way, and it amazes me when I can put something together quickly and I'm like, what? That makes me so happy. I just love writing new things, and now I have a tool to be able to capture them.
Oh, good.
Simply, but
Good.
it's great.
So we are, listen to all of us. We're beings of joy. And how many ways can we express it during the week? Just to lift your spirits. Even if you're into pain, if you're into fear, if you're in, and one of the things I was reading in Sir John Templeton's writing on the chapter on joy, he said, envy and joy do not mix. Don't envy anybody for anything because you're not walking in their shoes. You don't know what they're dealing with. Just shift that energy into a joy, like with Jennifer. I don't have I have a stepdaughter, but I don't have my own daughter that I could enjoy seeing her live her life and express her life so beautifully. And I just love hearing the joy that her parents have and the joy she's having in her life, and it lifts my spirits. So you can do it in so many ways. So many ways. So, well, how am I going to express joy this week? Well, number one, I am going to be at the Sikh temple on Wednesday. And you have to take your shoes off, and I've actually worn some socks that I've gotten so stained and dirty that they're just my Sikh temple socks that I wear when I go over. And feeding the homeless, I mean, really doing something of service feels really good. If you can find a way of doing service somewhere, please do so. Because the returns on that, just lifting your heart, is incredible. And of course, the other way that I'm going to be expressing joy this week is waving at all my new friends that I found in walking. And I actually got one of those little watches that I will know exactly how many miles that I'm walking instead of guessing at it. So that is going to bring me joy to know exactly how much I'm walking. And the fact to be that healthy enough to do that, considering my journey for healing, brings me high joy. So that's what my wish for you this week is to express joy in every way you can, connect with people in every way you can, and just know that God is in the midst of the joyful experience. Thank you.
Good.